IVC. This is Dale Gatefold 33 here to do I would say a quick thread response, but it's 30 records, so it might not be. So this is a response to Richard McCook's thread. He's been doing a series of threads on top albums of each decade. He's just done the 90s, so I've done 30 of the 90s, and this time I've had a go at putting them in order. So this is my top 30 in order to a degree. I've stuck with, sorry, I'm going to sneeze in a minute. I've stuck with only albums I've got on vinyl, so there are a few on CD that probably would have usurped some of these. I think, Richard, this is the different strokes for different folks kind of point. I don't think, maybe I've got one the same as you in your top 30, so it just shows. Maybe more. I'll have to go back through your video again, but I don't think there are many, if any, crossovers. So anyway, let's get on with it. So coming in at number 30 is this album, The Heads, Relaxing with the Heads. Excuse the cover. This is heavy psych, garage psych. This is really, good sort of psych revival. Good for blowing away the cobwebs, certainly. This is an original, which is quite rare, with the kind of cartoon booklet. I should have written down which years all these came from. Mid-90s, I'm saying. Mid-90s. That's 30. 29. I've got Manson, Attack of the Grey Lantern. Yeah, so I bought this when it came out on CD. And they had a number of singles at the time, and famously, I think it was on Tax Loss, they did some video where they were supposedly burnt £1 million, or as part of the video, as some kind of sort of, certainly got them some publicity, shall we say. Other singles they had, The Chad Who Loved Me and Wide Open Space, I think were singles. But yeah, at the time I enjoyed it, put it away. This came out 2018. They reissued it, and I thought, I think I have some fondness for that, and bought the vinyl, played it, and really enjoyed it. So yeah, I think it stood the test of time more than a lot of bands from the 90s. Yeah, I should say no Oasis in this. If you'd asked me in the 90s, I was praising Oasis to everyone. And Blur was running behind with me. I was more Oasis than Blur, but yeah, spoiler alert, no Oasis or Blur in my top 30 as I sit here in 2020. So maybe my tastes have moved, and this is an example of how my tastes have moved, because this album, I think I would have certainly 1990, it came out in 91 or 90. So about this time, I got married in 91. I think my wife would have had this, and I would have bought this for my wife and dismissed it. But now in 2020, I get quite a lot of affection for this, yeah. So this is George Michael, Listen Without Prejudice. Probably favour now Older slightly over this. They're both good, but I haven't got Older on vinyl. It's really rare on vinyl. It costs hundreds of pounds, so hopefully they'll reissue it at some point, but I do have it on CD. Yeah, so George Michael, Listen Without Prejudice. Lots of singles off this. So Praying for Time, Cowboys and Angels, and I don't know if Freedom 90 was as well, but certainly those first two were big sort of hits from this. Well, I remember them as being big hits. Next, and at 27, Talk, Laughing Stock. So this is quite low, because I've probably come to this. I do like Talk a lot, and I probably prefer the one before this and the one before that. The one before this, but they weren't in the 90s. Yeah, this is really good. As I say, I've come to it later, so therefore I'm not, I don't know if it has such a depth of affection with it. And also this copy, which is reissue I got a couple of years ago, is a bit crackly, and the last thing you want with a Talk album is a crackly vinyl. I can tell you that. it does kind of really interfere with it. So maybe that's also spoilt my enjoyment of it a little bit. 26 is this, the Sundays reading, writing, arithmetic. So what's this? This is like jangly pop, female vocal jangly pop. Again, another album that I bought on vinyl. Sorry, I bought on CD when it came out and liked it a lot at the time. Put it away for a number of years, and then I saw this. I got this at a car boot sale, and sort of recognised the cover and thought, oh yeah. And then sort of obviously have now played the vinyl and reacquainted myself with it. And the opposite here, this is an album that I've seen shown a lot on the VC, particularly when the reissue program was going on the last year, a couple of years, and I've always been struck by Stereolab's covers. I've always been struck by Stereolab concept. I've never really listened to Stereolab, and this year, so I haven't even shown this. This is a recent find. Triple album of kind of the original album plus some, an album of an extra disc of outtakes and the like, and yeah, really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed the first disc more than the second disc. I think it's really kind of up my alley in terms of that kind of instrumental, cinematic, indie, down tempo. I'll stop there because I'm probably giving it the wrong indication. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this so far. So hence it's crept into the top 30. An album that's been around with me for a long time, but again on CD, and then recently got the vinyl. So particularly in the 2000s, early 2000s, I really went through an Americana phase. There was a lot of Americana coming out, and so Lucinda Williams was one of those artists, and so went sort of got this album in kind of exploring the catalogue. This has come out in 2014, so 1998 was originally issued. 2014 reissue I bought, and really good kind of earthy Americana. With that, as a lot of these albums, and as anyone who's watched my videos knows, a lot of these will have a melancholy feel to them, and that tends to be my listening sort of preference. So so this is up that street, so a really good, or up that gravel drive. All right, where are we? 23. As if from nowhere, so this surprised me a bit, but I surprised myself with some of these choices, which I don't know if that makes sense at all. But so Prefab Sprout, Jordan the Comeback. This is a gold stamp promo, whatever that means. Really good, strong Prefab Sprout record. It's quite long. It's long for one album, but I don't find myself getting tired of it. Really good, just a really good Prefab Sprout album. Jordan the Comeback. This is sort of recent acquisition, probably the last 3 years. So I was familiar with the Future Sound of London at the time, but I kind of dismissed them as some kind of new jazz dance band for some reason. I might have been confusing them with someone else, but no, this is sort of trip hop, atmospheric, beautiful, and this reissue is fantastic. So this is Life Forms by the Future Sound of London. Again, another beautiful sort of atmospheric, down tempo or trip hop type album to take you away, take me away. I won't get this out of the sleeve because it's got an Obi on it, but this is a recent acquisition this year of an album I had on CD back in the day, so late 90s. Calexico, The Black Light. Again, this is kind of Calexico is a hybrid of California and Mexico. and there's a lot of kind of Mexican feel to the music. It's very cinematic, spaghetti westerny, in a sort of indie Americana, and yeah, love it, and love this reissue with the additional material. Album that should have been higher. Should have been higher. What was I thinking? Need a recount. Where are we? I've lost him. 20. Number 20. Paul Weller's debut. Yeah, and so I don't have Wildwood or Stanley Road on vinyl, and to be honest, I'm not as taken with those albums, which is again is probably heresy from a Paul Weller fan, but yeah, I do prefer this to those two. This is his debut solo after the Style Council, so Paul Weller, I've shown that many times before. So that's, we're down to 20, I think. Number 19 is a band I've got a lot of by Opeth, so very heavy neo prog. Started off as a band that really did the kind of throat singing, you know, the type singing to go along with the really great, brilliant drumming throughout all their albums. Great drumming, great instrumentals. They kind of build up with some really aggressive songs and then kind of just rein it right back with some little acoustic flourishes and all that, and that's what I love. This is a bit of a transition album. I think this is where they were mixing the throat singing with the so Michael Ackerfeldt is the lead singer, who does both the throat singing and beautiful conventional singing, I think, but I think he was unhappy with his voice, so stuck with the throat singing, but was convinced to sing conventionally, and that's what they've done kind of sort of now more recently. They only do the conventional, he only does the conventional style singing. This has got a mix of both, but yeah, great album that I've not probably done justice to there. Opeth, Still Life. Next, Why Is She So Low? So Kate Bush is my number one artist, yet I've got the Red Shoes, you know, whatever number that is, 18, is it? 18. Yeah, so I do like this album. I didn't dismiss it, so I think Richard McCook does have this. He has had this, so there's a definite duplicate because he talked about it. Yeah, I think people dismiss it. I didn't dismiss it, but it's not up there with her strongest material. So it's in my top 20, but it's not near the top of the top 20 90s albums. So that is Kate Bush, The Red Shoes. If you want to know more about it, watch Richard's video. 17. This is a very recent edition, only a few weeks ago. Terry Hall's Home, an album that I wasn't familiar with. So I've got the specials and Fun Boy 3 and you know, other Terry Hall kind of projects, but I hadn't really listened to any Terry Hall solo, and I saw this on the Record Store Day August drop, and gave it a listen digitally and was kind of not blown away, but certainly taken by it. So I bought it on vinyl and I played it a few times and really like it. So it stormed into the charts at number 17. 16, and then we'll have a little change of this pile and I'll get the second pile up. 16, Air, Moon Safari. So Air, French indie band, again do some very layered, textured music, and obviously mostly French lyrics, a lot of instrumental parts to it. Yeah, cinematic, if that's the right term. So this is Moon Safari, their debut album. Sexy Boy, Kelly Watch the Stars, You Make It Easy. yeah, so a mix of French and English vocals. They don't, well, Michael Godin might sing a bit, I don't know, but they certainly use guest vocalists, I think, traditionally female vocals. So I'll stop digging in the hole I've dug myself into on this and move on. So Air and Moon Safari. Right, we're going to need to have a change now. Bear with. This is going to ruin all my covers as well. Right. No peeking while I put these on here, okay? Right, didn't see, did you? Okay, top 15. Top 15. Top 15. Album I showed just the other day as a show an album with a blue cover. So this is Sigur Rós and Agatis Byrjun. So I won't say too much about this. Sigur Rós do beautiful, ethereal, atmospheric, melancholic, sing in a mix of Icelandic and their own made-up language. Yeah, lovely album. This is, I think that, not my favourite of their albums. I think the one that followed this, but that was in the 2000s, so I can't include it. So yeah, beautiful album though, beautiful album. And this I showed in my last but one video as an autumn. So again, Tom Waits Mule Variations. This is probably my favourite 90s Tom Waits album. Yeah, just a really solid for a double album. Really hangs together. Lots of very strong songs, and the beautiful Hold On, brings a tear to the eye every time I listen to it. Tom Waits Mule Variations. There's a lot of repetition here, sorry guys, I've shown all that, but I guess your top album, your favourite albums are your favourite albums, you can't keep changing your mind. So Cure Wish from 91, I think. This is an original vinyl, I've said before, so they haven't reissued this, but luckily I got an original vinyl from a record fair. No, wrong, a car boot sale. So great album with Friday I'm in Love is probably the biggest single off of it, but it's just a stand, it's just got some fantastic songs throughout. The Cure need no further introduction. Back to the kind of atmospheric trip hop brilliance, and we've got Massive Attack Mezzanine. I think I tend towards this one. The album before it was also very strong, and the one, in fact, they did 3 very strong albums, but this is my favourite, Mezzanine. So yeah, trip hop, sampling, female vocals, beautiful, and Teardrop is probably the most famous track from this. As a very successful single in the 90s and used in lots of kind of TV and film over the years. So Massive Attack Mezzanine. Slight change of gear, and we've got Bob Dylan, Time Out of Mind, which has the definitive version of Make You Feel My Love, not Adele's version. I know she freely admits it's a cover, but I think 99% of the population probably think that Adele wrote that song. So if anyone comes around my house, I'll make sure I play them this and put them right. But yeah, great album. Love the later Dylan with his gravelly bluesy feel, and this is an incredibly strong album. Another album that's a 2020 acquisition, and it's gone right up there, maybe too high, I don't know. Get the wheels on my chair going over the records. Francois Hardy, Le Danger, Francois. Fred Big Star 1000 corrected me and I was mortified. I was mispronouncing it, as someone who's been to Been to France on holiday for about 12 of the last 15 years. But yeah, Francois Hardy, Le Danger, and yeah, just nothing like her stuff. I love her album from the early 70s, which I've just blanked out on. But La Question, let's just come back to me. Yeah, brilliant, just a rock pop album. And yeah, so say come in highly, but maybe it's gone in a bit too high. I'll have to have a word with the judges after this. My favourite Belle and Sebastian album, and a period, so Belle and Sebastian early period, really strong. They've tailed off. I still kind of stick with them, and need to probably revisit some of their later stuff. I think John Digital Gramophone has posted something like that on his Instagram. But this is very strong, and this is where I came in with them. So yeah, great album. The Boy with the Arab Strap, really strong album. Need to speed up, Dale. Need to speed up. So probably certainly my top 3 favourite Neil Young albums, if not my favourite Neil Young album, is Harvest Moon. Love the song Unknown Legend. Again, a song that can really get a lump in the throat. So yeah, Neil Young. Where's he? That's number 8. Oh, we're motoring. Sorry, I should have announced the top 10 with a drum roll. So Francois Hardy 10, Belle and Sebastian 9, Neil Young 8, 7, and I'm not going to get this out. This is the triple album, but this, I played this to death in the 90s, and then again put it away for a few years, gone back to it. It's still a great album. So Radiohead's OK Computer probably doesn't need any more introduction. 6, another brilliant album. So Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and Boatman's Call. Love everything kind of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds does, and Nick Cave. Yesterday, I got tickets to go and see the cinema release of his Idiot Prayer solo performance. I've got tickets for me and my wife to go and see that. We were supposed to see him in concert this year, but that's been pushed to next year. So yeah, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Boatman's Call, Into My Arms, Lime Tree Arbor, yeah, everything, Black Hair, all beautiful melancholy. Okay, lightening the mood a bit. XTC, Apple Venus, would have been a toss-up between this and Nonesuch. I don't have Nonesuch on vinyl, although it is coming out and I've pre-ordered it. So it's been reissued, but yeah, Easter Theatre is just a beautiful song on this. But yeah, this is just a very uplifting and interesting album with a really good English country feel to it, if that makes any sense. Album I've shown before, but not this version. So I think I've showed my Mo-Fi copy, but this is Into the Labyrinth, Dead Can Dance. So again, the otherworldly vocals, male, female vocals, and this is a reissue. Reissue, sorry, I'm looking at it, you're not looking at it, with a different track listing, as I think the original track listing on vinyl. So Lisa Gerrard and Brendan Perry, is it? I think, yeah, Brendan Perry, originally from Australia but kind of worked out of the UK. Great album. Right, where are we now? We might be in the top 3. Are we in the top 3? We're in the top 3. This is my rather battered original copy. I do have a reissue of this as well. Rather battered original copy of Depeche Mode, Violator. So yeah, good dark Depeche Mode with Enjoy the Silence and Personal Jesus. That's probably the two of the sort of singles off of this fantastic Depeche Mode album. My favourite Depeche Mode album, Violator. We got 25 minutes. Right, this is a beast. Number 2. Put that down there. Number 2 is Richard Thompson's Mock Tudor. Love Richard Thompson, love Richard and Lyndon Thompson. Amazon will be delivering my Richard and Lyndon Thompson box set today. Today being the 11th of September. So this is a lavish reissue on vinyl, clear vinyl, of Richard Thompson's Mock Tudor, which I previously only had on CD. So it's kind of like a book feel, oversized. Yeah, difficult to file. I'll put it down there. Mock Tudor number 2. And what did the jury vote as number 1? Well, this surprised me actually, but yeah, coming in at number 1, probably because I just love it, is Portishead Dummy. But I think I could probably ask me tomorrow and it may be a different order. But yeah, Portishead Dummy is just an album to listen to at night, during the day, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and has got the beautiful Glory box on it, but amongst a host of other great trip hop tracks. We're at 27 minutes. Blimey. Okay, I'll stop there and spend the rest of the day uploading this. Cheers, VC. Bye.